Welcome to today's Escape to the Country, and let me introduce you to Monty and Prince, a pair of magnificent shires who for 5 days a week, 50 weeks of the year, make deliveries here in the local area. So join me in just a few moments to find out what they're delivering and where.
On today's show, I'm helping a house hunter with an extremely generous budget buy her first ever home. And she's certainly dazzled by the interior of one property.
Oh, now this is a surprise.
Is this a wow?
This is a wow.
And our mystery house really delivers where it counts.
That's a kitchen.
Isn't it?
This is fantastic.
Well, today we're in Wiltshire, Devizes to be precise, and it's where Monty and Prince make their daily deliveries of beer, just as their ancestors have done in this town since 1875. A little later on in the show, I'll be back here accompanying them on their next round.
Landlocked Wiltshire lies in the southwest of England, surrounded by 6 counties including Dorset, Somerset and Gloucestershire. In the southeast of the county sits its only city, Salisbury, which boasts a fine medieval cathedral with a 404-foot high spire that is the tallest of its kind anywhere in the United Kingdom. Wiltshire has a proud farming tradition going back for thousands of years, with around 72% of the region currently given over to agriculture. And there are rich historical monuments too, such as the stone circles of Stonehenge and Avebury, which draw visitors from all over the world. They are the focal point of a rich prehistoric landscape full of burial mounds and hill forts constructed by our ancient ancestors. The county is also home to the White Horse Trail, a 90-mile walk taking in 8 white horses cut into the chalk hillsides. The largest of these is the Westbury Horse in the Vale of Pewsey, which can be seen from 20 miles away.
But of course, all that rural charm does come at a price. Now, Longleat House behind me isn't for sale, but you do get the general idea. Things are quite nice down here. After Dorset, when it comes to the southwest, Wiltshire is the most expensive county you could pick. Your average detached will set you back around about £293,000, 14% above the national average. But, needless to say, in a county as popular and as beautiful as this one, there are some fantastic properties on the market.
This charming 2-bedroom thatched cottage in Stockton is priced at £345,000. It has a delightful beamed sitting room with a large Inglemook fireplace and wood burner. There's also a country kitchen, which features a colourful range and a quaint breakfast room. Upstairs, the bedrooms all boast exposed beams. Or how about this lovely 4-bedroom 18th century house in Hindon, which is on the market for a whisker under £500,000. It offers a spacious oak-framed kitchen diner, which has a lovely contemporary feel, an elegant sitting room, and half an acre of beautifully planted garden. Or, if your budget can stretch to £695,000, you could go for this very attractive 3-bed 17th century stone house in Chilmark, which comes with 5 acres of land. The drawing room has an impressive vaulted ceiling, complete with a gallery, and outside there's a glorious sun terrace.
So if you're tempted by some of those wonderful Wiltshire properties, like today's buyer, you're in very good company. And she's brought along her best friend Liz for some moral support.
PA Linda has recently inherited the 4-bed detached family home in Wimbledon that she lived in with her parents for more than 40 years. A developer has just bought the house, so she's now looking to buy her first home on her own, and will be accompanied on her property search by friend of 25 years, Liz.
This is actually the first time I've moved on my own. I inherited this house from my parents, so I've never actually actively gone out and sought a house myself. And also the timescale is very short. My house is being demolished probably in a couple of months' time, so I haven't got long in which to find something.
Indeed, she hasn't. However, this isn't a spur-of-the-moment move. Linda's been planning to leave London for a more rural way of life for some time.
I'm coming up to 60 next month, and I've been looking to retire probably within the next year or so. And the developers offered me a good price about 6 weeks ago. It's all happening very quickly. And I had been thinking over the past, say, 6 months that I would like to move out of London to the country. So this has just given me an ideal opportunity in which to do that.
So this is the only move Linda is planning on making in her entire life. And she's had a long time to dream up her perfect home.
In an ideal world, I would like 4 bedrooms, possibly 5. I'd like an ensuite bathroom. I'd like a nice-sized kitchen and a utility room. That's fairly important as well. I'd like a study. I would like quite a large garden, possibly half an acre, maybe a wee bit more, up to an acre, if it's reasonably manageable, depending on the nature of the garden.
It's not just the wish list that's been nailed down. The location has too.
I'd like to move to the Salisbury area, or just to the west of Salisbury, or southwest.
You don't want to be too remote, though, do you?
No.
Because being on your own, you can get a bit isolated, so you want a little shop or a little village or something,
Oh yes,
don't you?
if possible, yes. I don't want anything that's too lonesome, right at the end of a long track, or too far from anybody. I think I'd feel a bit isolated. It's my first experience of living in the country.
The deal with the developer is a lucrative one, and it's given Linda a very generous amount of money with which to buy her very first home.
My budget for the next property would be probably between 800,000, perhaps up to £1 million if the right thing came along.
Now, of course, there's always a certain amount of luck involved when it comes to buying and selling houses. Being in the right place at the right time and all that sort of thing has a key role to play. But Linda, well, she scooped up bucket loads of luck. Just when she was thinking of retiring and moving to the country, a developer steps in, offers to buy her house for an enormous amount of money and sets her up in the enviable position of being a cash buyer. So let's just hope that some of that luck rubs off this week as we try and find her a home of the future.
Linda wants to be within striking distance of Salisbury, so we'll be taking her and friend Liz on a gentle ramble around the surrounding countryside. We've got 3 delightful properties to enchant them, and I'll be challenging Linda and Liz to guess the price before I reveal it. The last property is, of course, our mystery house, and I think it has all the ingredients to teach them a thing or two about country life.
Let's not kid around here. You have to do this in a hurry because the developers are coming in to knock your house down.
Oh, they certainly are. I've got 5 weeks, I think, 6 weeks at the maximum before the bulldozers move in and I'm homeless.
Now, you say homeless, it sounds very desperate, but you are armed with a fantastic budget of how much?
I'm in an extremely fortunate position. I'm looking for a property between £800,000 and probably up to $1 million-ish.
Brilliant.
Yes. So, yes, I'm incredibly lucky.
Now, Liz has come along to help you find your ideal dream home, with our assistance, of course.
Yes.
Liz, what do you think? How's this move going to go?
She knows what she wants, so you've got your work cut out, I think.
But this is
Yes,
interesting
I think
because
I
you've
know.
never bought a house before.
I haven't, no. I've lived in the family home since it was built way back in the 60s.
Now, the requirements, you say you've got 800 to $1 million to
Yeah.
spend. That's a lot of house for one person.
I know. Well, I like entertaining and I have people to stay with me quite frequently, and usually more than 1 bedroom's worth of people. I often have 2 or 3 rooms taken up with visitors, so I do need a fair bit of space for that.
So, Liz, all set?
Yes, ready to go.
Going to keep her on the straight and narrow for me?
Yes, I'm really quite excited about this, actually.
Good. Right then, let's get going. Follow me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, these two can't wait, and I'm not surprised, with a very healthy budget of between £800,000 and £1 million. On the wish list is a detached house with a spacious kitchen for keen-cook Linda. 4 bedrooms, so ample space for those party guests she's anticipating. A large garden, and it all needs to be set within a village location. We're kick-starting our property search 8 miles from Salisbury in the village of White Parish. It's an attractive location with a thriving shop, come post office, a doctor's surgery and 2 pubs. They're all situated within walking distance of our first property, which sits in a charming position overlooking the local church.
OK, ladies, here we are.
Oh, that looks lovely. Looks very, very promising. Just the sort of style that I was looking for.
House number
Yes.
1.
Perfect.
Now, can you just see the churchyard behind us?
I can indeed, yes.
This, perhaps, well, not surprisingly, is an old vicarage.
Wow. So it should have some history to it.
It certainly has got some history. It's been extended a little bit over the years.
Yes.
At its core, we think it's about 1700s, probably
very
mid
nice.
1700s.
Yes.
It's had a Victorian addition or
No
two.
ghost, I hope.
Who knows? Let's see what we can find. But what do you think, Liz?
Well, I think it's got character, roses around the door, and one of Linda's criteria was not a glass front door, and it's got a solid front door.
It's got a nice
So
solid
that's
front
really
door.
nice, yes.
No, I'm really looking forward to having a look round.
And we've got a lovely garden for you.
Even
wonderful.
better.
Yeah?
Yes.
Come and have a
Great.
look.
Well, we're off to a roaring start. This former vicarage has almost everything Linda is after, so let's hope the inside continues to impress.
OK, Linda.
Oh, no, that's nice. No,
Could this be the one?
I didn't say I wanted a nice big square hall, but actually I did think that I would have liked one, and this looks lovely.
And that's what you've
Yes.
You've got the
Lovely.
light from the window,
Yes.
which is really lovely.
Yeah.
got. Now, this little alcove, this is quite funny. This used to be the only phone box in the village.
My goodness.
Really?
Now, leading off of here, we've also got you one of the 2 reception rooms that are on offer.
Right.
A very nice little snug,
Yes.
straight TV room. And in terms of entertaining, you do want
Yes.
a dining room.
I do.
Oh,
Yes.
definitely.
Come and look at this.
Knowing Linda is a keen entertainer, this next room is always going to be particularly important to her.
So, how would entertaining work in here?
Oh, not bad at all. No, it's lovely. I'll have to learn to play the piano, but it's lovely. Just a nice size, very cosy, and I like the beams.
Good.
They're not too conspicuous, but they're there, which is lovely.
And of course, we are opposite the church, so I'm thinking when it's snowing and you've been over to church, everybody's coming back for drinks, you're the first stop.
Sounds good, yes.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Christmas tree
yes.
and all the mulled
Exactly.
wine. It's,
Yes.
yes, definitely got the atmosphere for
Yeah.
that.
So, entertaining all well and good, but we need a kitchen for that.
We do.
And we've got you a brand new one. Have a look at this. This is it.
Oh, that's lovely, yes. And an island unit.
Yep.
Yes, lovely. And plenty of cupboard space, yes.
Granite tops.
Yes.
You've got a gas-fired, massive cast iron range.
Oh,
there.
that's good,
It's
yes.
mains, which is lovely.
Yes.
I mean, kitchens,
Yes.
I think, are one of your things, aren't they?
Kitchen is my speciality.
So how does this one...
Yes, this looks very nice. It looks
Yes.
like a high-quality kitchen. It's been very well fitted.
I would say
Yes.
so. It's also complemented with an enormous utility room
Yeah,
behind
which is
us,
also good.
which is
Yes.
great. So, you know, what you see is what you need just for the kitchen. All
Yes.
the rest of it's out there. Right, follow me this way.
Where's the wine cellar?
Oh, here we go. Come on.
Well, I'm afraid there's no wine cellar here, Linda, but in the newer extension next door, there is this rather superb drawing room.
Now, I think this would suit you down to the ground.
Oh, very nice, yes.
Not too cavernous, but, you know, cosy again, a bit like the snug.
Yes.
But again, a lovely place for a bit of formal entertaining as
Yes,
well.
and nice to have it wide enough to get chairs around in a square rather than having to sit in a line as well.
Yeah.
Yes, very nice. And windows on 3 sides. Yes.
I mean, they've got a desk there overlooking the garden,
Yeah.
which is a nice touch.
yeah,
Very tastefully done.
yeah.
And above it is the master suite.
Sweet. Sounds promising. Yes.
Yes. Shall we have a look upstairs?
Oh, yes, please.
Follow me.
Yeah.
This is a house that just keeps on giving, and there's an added bonus on the landing.
Oh, I do like this.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, and the study area.
Well, there you go. You
I
see,
was
they...
just going to say I was going to convert the snug into a study area, but no need.
There you
Yes.
are. And in a way, what else would you use that space for?
Nothing. It's dead space otherwise, isn't it? No,
And
it's
of course, you can
perfect.
see who's coming and going.
Of course, yes.
Now, you wanted 5 bedrooms.
I did.
We've got you 5.
Wow, that's good.
Follow me.
Yes, there's plenty of space for guests with this double room currently made up as a twin and a further 3 bedrooms, all of a good size. Up here, there's also a family bathroom, but it's in the new extension above the drawing room where Linda would sleep.
Now, here, Linda, is your master wing.
Oh, how sweet.
Lots of
yes,
storage there, lovely ensuite, and more storage and the bedroom itself.
Oh, this is nice with the windows on 3 sides as well, yes.
You know, waking up, say, in here for the first time, would you feel comfortable? Would you feel...
This house gives me a nice feel. Yes, I would feel comfortable. And it's nice, it's not too far from neighbours too.
Yeah.
It's great that Linda can see herself living here. Time to head outside, and although the garden isn't the half an acre she's asked for, it's certainly a large enough space for her to potter very happily.
There. Isn't this nice?
Oh, this is lovely.
Yeah?
Especially on a sunny day. We're so lucky.
Well, it's in sort of zones. You've got this formal lawn here.
Yes.
There's another area there.
On a gate going somewhere.
That goes through the garage.
Not to the secret garden.
Well, secret garage.
Yes.
There's another little area here at the bottom, which is rather nice.
Oh, this is the secret garden.
That's the secret
Yes.
garden. Now, have you had a chance to think about how much this might be worth?
I imagine it would be towards the top end of the budget. So I would go for 925,000.
925,000, yes. Might be a little bit optimistic, yeah. Okay.
Oh, dear.
Go on, Liz. Yeah.
I'd aim for a little higher than that. I think it's 1.175.
1.175.
I really think it is, yes. I think
Okay.
it's a good
Yeah.
quality, solid building, and it's nicely situated.
Well, it could be yours for 985,000
Right.
pounds.
Yes. It's a definite possibility. Yes.
Well, look, you've identified one or two little things that you might want to tweak. You've got your designer on hand.
Yes. Yeah.
Off you go.
At £985,000, this former vicarage is within the budget and packed with period charm. It provides her with a spacious, high-spec kitchen diner, as well as 2 reception rooms. Upstairs, there are 5 double bedrooms, and outside, the garden is big enough to keep Linda busy.
When I came into the house, it had a nice, warm, cosy feel about it. I just felt that I would be comfortable here. I was even more pleased with it than I expected I was going to be.
When I came into the house, there were a number of things I first noticed. One was the square hallway with pieces of furniture in, and the decor was everything Linda would choose herself.
Right, ladies, out you go. Now, I sort of get the impression that we might have surprised you.
You
a little
have,
bit.
very, very nicely, yes.
Good. Well, we like nice surprises, don't we?
Very good,
And there
yes.
are plenty more to come.
Excellent.
Follow me.
Yes, all right.
The village of Laycock in northwest Wiltshire is owned entirely by the National Trust, who are keen to maintain it as a valuable example of British heritage. As an admirer of Trust properties, we knew Linda would appreciate the magnificent architecture that's showcased here. So, earlier in the week, we arranged for her and Liz to visit the area. The entire village was given to the National Trust in 1944 by the descendants of William Henry Fox Talbot, who originally lived here. Fox Talbot was an early pioneer of photography, and Laycock Abbey, which sits in the middle of the village, houses a museum celebrating his achievements. It's just one of more than 200 listed buildings in the area, which capture almost every style of architecture from the 13th century onwards. The National Trust aim to preserve Laycock's traditions in many forms, one of which is its artisan soap-making shop, where techniques are used that have not changed for centuries. Linda and Liz are meeting owner Jackie Sherd to discover more about this unique craft.
Hello. I'm Liz.
Hi, Jackie, I'm Linda.
Hello, Linda. I must say, coming in, the colours and the smell is absolutely fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
It's really nice.
It's fitting that in the village where scenes from Harry Potter were filmed, that our house hunters are getting the chance to perform some alchemy of their own, making soap in a way that has changed little since Roman times. The first step is to mix up some caustic soda.
There was a little magic formula, really, with putting the soda into the water. They always say, put the soda into the water, not the water into the soda.
Right.
You want it to be a bit like it's snowing,
Yes.
really, because if it splashes,
Yes.
you don't want it really splashing on your face or on your arms.
In the very early stages of human history, soap was made from animal fats and potash and was mainly used to clean fleece and fabrics. The Roman recipe introduced the use of the caustic ingredient lye. For Jackie's soap, olive, coconut and palm oils are mixed together before the caustic soda is added. And the ladies will need strong arms as the mixture is stirred for an hour until it thickens.
So am I a good stirrer?
Yeah, you're doing quite well, but sometimes people stir, because it needs to be like a little bit faster than... Yeah, that's it.
The final process is the addition of essential oils to scent the soap before leaving it to set overnight. And once solid, they can be decorated. It wasn't until the 15th century that finer soaps began being produced. These used vegetable oils like those made from olives rather than animal fats. And it was only with the advent of the Industrial Revolution that small-scale soap production went into decline.
That's great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, it certainly looks as though Linda and Liz are awash with new crafty ideas. But will any of our houses scrub up? Time to get back to the house search and find out. For our second property, I'm taking our ladies to Eastcott, some 21 miles north of Salisbury. It's just down the road from Urchfont, which is a vision of rural charm with a pleasing mix of Georgian houses and traditional thatched homes. All the essentials are here, including a pub, a church, and a community-run shop and post office.
Well, Linda and Liz, this is our second property.
Oh, that's a surprise. It's very different.
Isn't it just?
Yes, very different to the last house we've just seen, I must say.
It's not as conventional as the last one.
No, I can see that. Yes.
Our first property was much more cottagey.
Yes.
This one has an altogether different feel.
Right. Yeah.
Liz has been quite quiet at this point. Come on, what are you thinking?
It's not doing it for me yet. I'm waiting to see the inside. I'm not comfortable with it yet.
But Linda, what are your thoughts? I mean, you've got to live here.
I'm not quite as excited as I was on the last house.
Well, let's see if we can get you more excited and impress you. Come on, follow me.
Well, Linda might need to heed the words, don't judge a book by its cover, as this house really scales up on the inside.
Oh, now this is a surprise.
Is this a wow?
This is a wow.
Come on in.
I was a bit disappointed when we arrived, but now I'm not. No, this is brilliant. It's lovely. No, it's a total and utter surprise.
There's a little smile creeping into Liz's mouth here.
Yes.
Yes, I'm starting to warm, but I'm still not comfortable.
The room is obviously divided into two main zones. We've got a dining end
Yes.
here, naturally next to the kitchen.
Yes.
That end is very cosy.
It
Come and have a look at this. Well, and I think this enormous fireplace, you can see it there with these lovely corbels supporting the beam over the wood
Lovely.
burner. There's also a little conservatory through that door. I think this rather sets the scene. I think it's a terrific space, and we've talked about your love of entertaining.
Yes.
Come on.
It's the way to do it, isn't it?
This would be a nice place.
Yes, being
which
in
to
the
do.
kitchen, everybody threw in the around the dining room table. Yes.
Well, come and have a look at the kitchen. Yeah. This is lovely. It's beautifully made. It's hand-built, as you might expect. And, you know, complete with range, as indeed with our first property.
Yes, it's a superb kitchen, isn't it? Lots and lots of storage space and lots of workspace as well. Yes, and now I can imagine myself cooking up many a meal here for people.
And, of course, you've got access out to here.
Yes.
The whole thing really is an extension of this room.
Yeah, and a lovely view out onto the garden as well, which is a bonus.
OK, so that's the kitchen.
Yeah.
We've talked about this main living room.
Yeah.
Let's go upstairs to the master bedroom.
Right.
Follow me.
Linda could have her very own master suite located just off this charming gallery.
So this is what's outside your bedroom door. Nice little viewing point.
Not a bad view, is it?
Yeah?
Oh, yes, very nice.
And the bedroom is in here. Now, come on in. Let's explore this room. It's quite big. There's lots of storage hidden away behind these lovely panelled walls.
It's very different, very attractive.
Yeah. I love the pillar, actually. I think
Yes.
this is lovely. There's a sort
It's a
of
nice feature, isn't it?
medieval hint about it.
Yes, one on either side, yes.
Yeah.
I would feel comfortable in this bedroom, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Liz?
Yeah.
I have a design issue. These ultra-modern windows in a property like this.
I mean, the thing is about windows like this, it is a design issue, but it's also easy maintenance, no painting.
Well, you've got to look after it.
Yes.
I mean, as you would expect, a room like this in a property like this does come with an ensuite. It's behind that panelled wall there.
That's what I was just going to ask about. Is
So
there
you
an
are
ensuite?
completely self-contained here.
Yes.
That's the joy of it.
It's the only room upstairs, isn't it,
It
that
is.
we came up? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how many bedrooms are there in this?
4.
There are 4.
4 in total.
Yes.
And, of course, the rest are
Downstairs.
downstairs. Let's have a look at them.
I'm glad Linda is looking favourably on the windows, as I don't feel they detract from the overall rustic charm of this place. The remaining 3 good-sized bedrooms are all on the ground floor at the other end of the sitting room, and we're about to take a look at the one that's currently being used as a study.
Now, this is technically bedroom 4.
Right.
OK, we've seen the master.
Yes.
They've got it, well, as you can see, very well
Decked out
furnished.
as a study.
As a
Yes,
study.
very nice.
And you've got those double doors out
Yes.
to the little sort of sunken garden
Yes.
out there. It would, of course, mean that you would have only 3 bedrooms
Yes.
if this were to remain as a study.
Yes. No, I have a vast number of books as well, so I'd certainly need somewhere to store them.
There you go. Well,
Yes.
that's purpose-built.
Yes.
And very nice it is too.
Yeah.
Liz?
The sunken gardens, a lovely
That's
feature.
nice too.
Yeah.
That is a nice feature.
Well, it's just one bit of the gardens,
Right.
which we should now explore, I think.
Very much like to see them, yes.
Come and have a look.
Gardening enthusiast Linda is after around half an acre, and this garden should measure up. After all, it's big enough to accommodate its own swimming pool.
Well, I think this is a nice place to settle and actually take in what the garden has to offer.
Well, it's quite a big garden, but it's easy maintenance by the looks of things.
This wouldn't daunt you in terms of size?
No.
Also lots of lovely fruit trees here,
Yes,
of course.
that is nice.
Yeah.
Something of a little orchard area there.
Very nice.
Yes, no, it's a really good garden.
So, Linda,
Yes.
let's have a think about the price of this one.
It's a difficult one to price. I think not as high as the last one, probably 895.
895, yeah, Liz?
I'd say it was 930.
£930,000.
yeah.
You said £895,000. This could be yours for £775,000.
No. My goodness, I was way out.
Is that up to the ante a little bit?
Just a bit.
Yeah.
I'm still hovering, yes.
Right then, well, look, go and hover in there, and I'll catch up with you later.
Right.
I might go for a little paddle.
Priced at £775,000, this converted stable block leaves Linda plenty of money to spare from her budget. It gives her a bespoke solid oak kitchen, a vast and sociable reception space, 4 bedrooms and just over half an acre of garden.
I don't think overall I could see myself living in this house. It is very nice, but it's just not quite my style. And looking around, I began to see the practicalities of it and realised, nice as it is, in fact it's delightful, I don't think it would work for me living on my own.
My first impression of the house as we drove up to it, it didn't really give me that wow factor. The first house I really liked.
If only every house tour ended like this. It's gorgeous having a pool. Hello.
Hi there.
Have you had a hover?
Oh,
have you had a mooch?
Yes, all the way.
Yeah, nearly.
Sorry to interrupt you here.
Well, I'm enjoying myself. I hope you've had a good time
I've
too.
had a wonderful
That's
time.
cooled you down a bit,
Yes.
has
It
it?
certainly has.
Yes, you needed a glass though as well, didn't you?
Well, we might just go and find one of those.
Okay.
Follow me. Come on.
As the sun sets over the serene Wiltshire countryside, the first day of our property search draws to a close. First-time buyer Linda from London is in the enviable position of having a very generous budget to spend on a country home in Wiltshire. Our first house really took Linda's fancy.
Looks very, very promising. Just the sort of style that I was looking for.
But coming up, our mystery house could also be just the ticket.
Actually, I think I probably won't need the other rooms. I should just be
yes.
cooking here and then just relaxing down there.
And I try my hand at the forgotten art of coopering, which, as I discover, is alive and well in Wiltshire.
Just give it a whack. Yeah. Ah. Does that matter? It does. Well, I've just had breakfast with Liz and with Linda, and I can tell you there is a great deal of excitement as to what our final property, our mystery house, may be. Now, whatever it is we've got lined up for them, it's certainly got a lot to compete with. They fell in love with property number 1 yesterday. But hey, bit of competition never hurt anyone. What do you think we've got lined up for you?
It's difficult to know. Maybe a thatched house or a new build even. Or maybe even a newly built thatched house, if such things exist.
Well, they do exist.
Yeah.
I mean, what about a windmill?
Windmill would be fine.
How about a schoolhouse?
That would be nice.
Really?
Yes, I think that could be interesting.
We're crossing the Wiltshire border into Dorset, close to the village of Woodlands, where we found a stunning mystery property with a scholarly association for bookish Linda. It's just down the road from Cranbourne, a pretty village full of unspoilt charm. The Church of St Mary and Bartholomew has 12th century origins, and should the ladies wish to dine out, there's a pub, a restaurant and 2 village stores. The house I'm showing them has certainly got the wow factor, and I'm just hoping they like it as much as I do.
Well, here we are, ladies. Here's our mystery house. bathed in lovely sunshine, an old school.
Oh, it just looks very, very pretty.
Isn't it just?
It's beautiful. Yes, very, very promising.
Now, a little bird did tell me that you quite like old schools.
I do like old schools, yes. A bit of character. Very interesting, yes.
Well, this is an absolute
Yes.
treat. Now, the reason it's our mystery house is A, because we know you like old schools.
I do.
And B, we're not in Wiltshire anymore.
Are we not?
We're in Dorset.
Oh, right.
But I think we might get a wow.
Sounds
I'm
good.
sticking my neck out there. Come and have a look inside.
With the exterior of this property making a good impression on Linda and Liz, I'm taking them straight through into the rather elegant open-plan reception area.
Well, Linda, we're back to school, but probably not as you would remember it. Not like this, anyway.
Certainly not, no. This is lovely.
Isn't it?
Very nice. And as you say, it's cosy. It doesn't have the cavernous feeling of the place we saw yesterday.
But we've got this huge vaulted
Yes.
ceiling.
Yeah.
The original ceiling, obviously, which is in here. That's a later addition, the mezzanine floor,
Right.
which now provides something of a summer bedroom, but
I
could
was
be
wondering
another.
what was up there, yes.
Could be another reception
Yeah.
room. We'll look at that a little bit
Yeah.
later on.
Lovely big windows too. Very, very nice.
Now, Liz,
Yeah.
Yes.
you weren't sure about our second property yesterday, which had similar properties,
Yes,
but
it was similar.
So this is working
Yes.
for you.
Yes, it is working for
It's
me.
certainly
yes.
working for me.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Now, one thing we haven't got for you at the moment is a separate dining room.
Well, that's not a problem.
So we could potentially, incorporate a
Oh,
dining
there's
end.
lots
No,
of opportunities.
There's loads of areas I can put a dining room table. I know that's not a problem at all.
Right then.
Yeah.
Next stop,
Yeah,
the kitchen.
lovely.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, come and have a look at this. Right, come on in.
That's a kitchen.
Isn't it?
This is fantastic.
That has
yes.
the wow factor.
It's got the size, it's got room for a big table, it's got lovely windows looking out onto the garden.
Oil-fired range there with,
Yes.
Electric
Yeah.
to back it up as well
Yes.
in the summer.
Actually, I think I probably won't need the other rooms. I shall just be
Yeah, yes.
cooking here and then just relaxing down there.
So you've moved in.
I have moved in, yes.
Also on the ground floor, off the drawing room, is a cosy sitting room cum study, as well as a bright utility room and a modern bathroom. But we're heading for the main bedroom.
Now, this is what is currently set up as the master.
Right,
Okay.
yes,
It's on the ground floor.
it is.
How do we feel about that?
Not hugely keen on ground floor bedrooms, I must say.
I really wouldn't let
Yeah.
it worry you too much. This is one that they use in the winter
Yes.
because they like to use the mezzanine
Oh, right.
Summer.
in the
That's
main
an
room.
interesting
More open,
idea.
yes.
Yes.
Now, question is simply, is it big enough for you as a master?
I think it would be, yes.
I mean, we've got,
Got
plenty of
wardrobes.
storage.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wardrobes,
exactly.
yes.
Loads
Yes.
of
Quite
that.
nice and light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of
How about
windows.
bathroom?
Bathroom just down the corridor.
Right.
Okay, so it's not en suite as
No.
such, but effectively
But you're
you shut.
self-contained at this end anyway.
Well, you are. If you
Yes.
shut the door out there in the corridor,
Yes, you might as well.
you're in your
Yeah.
own wing. This, as I say, is currently the sort of winter master.
Yes.
But let's go upstairs and have a look at that other one. Come on.
Let's see if the summer mezzanine sleeping area will appeal.
So just to remind you, this floor is new. Wasn't part of the original school
Right.
fabric,
Yes.
but it gets us nearer to this amazing ceiling, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, they made very good use of the space, haven't they?
And this is the summer bedroom.
This is what they're calling the summer
Yes.
bedroom. This is one of the four.
Yes.
Okay, now through that door we've got two further bedrooms.
Right.
Bit smaller.
Yes.
Yes.
This one, obviously, and the one we've just seen are the bigger
Yes.
of the four.
Yeah.
Would you use this as a summer bedroom?
I think I would. Yes. Depending on if I had somebody staying with me, I dare say if I had visitors who were going to bed through there, I may well revert to the winter bedroom.
No, they don't have to do that at all,
Oh, do they
because
not?
there's a separate staircase
Oh,
Is
that's
there?
good.
which
Yes.
comes off of the hallway.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
they've got access to that completely on their own. There's
Oh,
another
that's good.
bathroom through there.
Yes.
And so forth. So actually,
Yeah.
this is just
That
you.
was a slight concern.
Yes.
If they're having to come through your bedroom.
Yeah.
So that's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, now I know the garden, obviously, we've said
very
before,
important.
is very important.
Yes.
Come and look at this.
Immediately outside the back door is a very private terrace, beyond which stretches a wildflower garden complete with pond and woodland.
So here we are then, in the middle of what could be your 1.25 acres of lawn, woodland, pond, and old schoolhouse. So how much do we like this one?
We like it a lot. Well, I do.
Now then,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to go first, Liz.
OK.
What do you think the old schoolhouse is on the market for?
I think it's probably about 875.
875. Yeah.
I would go 835.
£835,000.
Yes.
If it was £835,000, would it be of interest?
It would be of interest.
It's interesting at 835.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer at £750,000.
No.
No, you're joking.
Think what I could do with this.
Wow.
Yeah.
no, that has
Just
confused
think
me.
how we can spend.
Yes.
There's a list forming, isn't there?
There is a
Yes,
shopping
yes,
list for me, yes.
Right, off you go. Go and start writing. I'll catch up with you later.
Thank you. Where are the shops?
Well, when ladies want to shop, I know I've hit the mark. At £750,000, this old schoolhouse has a charming kitchen and breakfast room, a stunning galleried drawing room, 4 double bedrooms, and 1¼ acres of garden.
The longer I've spent here, the more comfortable I've felt. And now I'm completely torn because yesterday's house that I liked, the old vicarage, was right in the middle of a village. And this is a completely different location and different type of house. And it's really difficult to choose between the two.
You know, it's amazing what we find in some of the properties we have on this show. Have you seen this, girls? This little park?
no.
It says these trees were planted to commemorate the coronation of George VI in 1937.
And I guess it will still have been a school then.
It just goes to show that everywhere has a story to tell.
It has indeed.
Yes, and he left his bike behind too.
He probably did. Well, let's see how your story is going to end. Come on, let's go and have a chat.
In the Wiltshire town of Devizes, brewing has been a commercial activity since at least the mid-16th century. And it was due to its growth here that around 200 years later, coopering or barrel making in the county eventually took off. By the first half of the 20th century, there were about 600 coopers at work in Britain, skillfully bending and hammering out sturdy oak barrels for countless millions of pints. But timber shortages and the arrival of mass-produced metal barrels have all but consigned the craft to the scrap heap. Earlier in the week, I visited a Victorian brewery in Devizes to meet Alistair Sims, the UK's only master cooper, to find out more about this ancient craft.
It's the original wheel, invented by the Egyptians. You can roll it along, and if you want to turn it, you just press on one side and the cask moves round.
Because it's got this
Belly on it.
yeah, like that.
Yeah, you press on one side and it'll go around that way, press on this side, it'll come around that way. Because of the shape of the belly, you can rock it about, 2 men can actually stand it up on end.
I never thought of it as the wheel, but you're right.
The casks are made of oak staves, held together with metal hoops. Norfolk reeds are then slotted into the grooves at the ends to expand and seal the barrel. Once Alistair has put the lid of the barrel in place, it just leaves the adding of the final metal hoop. And he starts the job by hammering it firmly and precisely around the edges. Then it's my turn to help finish it off, using an iron bar that weighs a hefty 32.5 pounds.
Just give it a whack.
Yeah.
I can't break it, can I?
You can, but it doesn't matter.
This might take some time then. Ah, does that matter?
It does.
If you can't see this, what I've done is I've just bent the top of the...
It is fixable.
Is it?
Yeah.
OK. You sure you want me to carry on?
No, you're all right.
Well, I won't be giving up the day job anytime soon. But now I'm going to meet another pair of heavyweights, 2 of the brewery's Shire horses, who are being looked after by head horseman Barry Petherick. Together, they help deliver casks of beer to the pubs of Devizes.
I mean, it's a wonderful sight. I mean, we would have seen this in every town and city up and down the country many years ago, but, you know, you really are a dying breed, aren't you?
That's right, I think we're one of the last few delivering every day of the week.
In Britain, there used to be well over 1 million working Shire horses, but with increasing mechanisation, by the 1960s, their numbers had fallen dramatically, and now they're classified as a rare breed.
And for Devizes itself, I mean, it must be a source of local pride to see that the brewery's still doing it the old-fashioned way.
It is, they reintroduced the horses back in 1974. We've got 2 drays out every day delivering.
What a great way to go to the pub. So, with the day's refreshment delivered, we're turning our attention back to our house hunt to find out what's brewing for Linda as she thinks over the 3 properties.
Well, when we set out on this house search, Linda said that she'd never, ever bought a house of her own before. So have we managed to reverse that trend and relieve her of nearly £1 million? Well, let's go and ask her. Here you are, contemplating the future.
Indeed.
You have a lot to think about, Linda.
Oh, I most certainly have.
Well, we couldn't have done this without Liz's help, so well done for coming along and giving your moral support. Let's just remind ourselves of where we went. Property number 1. Now, I think you both rather fell in love with that one almost immediately.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. It was central in the village, so it had lots of Linda's requirements, which I was very pleased with.
Well, you've known her for, what, 20-odd years, so you will know what's going to work for Linda. But let's hear it from the horse's mouth. What did you think of it?
Oh, I loved it. It had plenty of space, just the right layout of rooms. But the only one doubt that I had is that I was wanting to be near the country, and you can't actually back onto fields there.
But there's always a little bit of a compromise.
Yes.
I mean, the garden there was gorgeous, wasn't it?
It was fantastic.
So we definitely scored with our first property.
Oh, for sure.
Now, our second property, for me, was a little bit frustrating because I loved it, but you just didn't feel the love, well, from the minute we turned up.
I liked a lot about it. I thought it was a wonderful property, but just not for me to live in.
Well, then we took you to our final property, our mystery house, the old school.
Didn't have the feeling of remoteness at all. There were near neighbours, and it just had that feeling that you felt you didn't feel isolated at all. No, I loved it.
Of course, the price was a good attraction as well. They gave you spare money to actually do anything you
Yes.
want.
Well, now then,
Yes.
£750,000.
Yes.
Let's face it, you'd set out thinking you would spend at least 800,000.
Yes.
So we were comfortably under your
way
budget.
under. Yes, no, that was wonderful.
What happens next?
Property number 1 is a definite contender.
Yeah?
I loved it, and I'm going to make arrangements to go back and see it as soon as possible.
Are you now?
I certainly am.
OK.
As you know, I'm looking for a house for life, so I think, thinking of the future, that's the one for me.
Well, it's been a real treat having you,
It's been
Linda.
lovely.
Liz, lovely to see you, and thank you for all your help.
Definitely. OK, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Well, you know, I don't think I've ever met a first-time buyer with £1 million to spend, but of course that effectively is what Linda is, and she's in a very enviable position. But she's had this tussle going on, something which most of us familiar with buying and selling property know all too well. Do you follow your head or follow your heart? Well, my sense is she's going to follow her heart, and that, take it from me, really will be a £1 million love affair.
Well, Linda did indeed make an offer which was accepted, so she hopes to be moving to Wiltshire very soon. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/beonashow.